So some doctors are calling for more research into the side effects of very popular diabetes and weight loss drugs like Ozempic.
Ozempic, it is literally the hottest drug in the country right now.
America's most photographed faces are shrinking on camera. Cheeks collapse in months, jawlines sharpening overnight. Behind the smiles and filtered grids is a quiet trend. A diabetes drug turned celebrity fix, moving through Tinseltown like a storm. Before we dive in, hit subscribe to American Legends so you never miss the chapters Hollywood prefers to keep off script. John Goodman. A beloved veteran showed up so lean and drawn at an industry event that attendees reportedly didn't recognize him at first. Why risk radical change after decades of iconic work? The rumor mill says survival, a younger crop climbing, short list shrinking, and modernize the look whispers from agents and casting directors. Hollywood has always favored youth, but the pace has accelerated. At 70 plus, Goodman may have felt the walls closing in. Concerns weren't just about weight, they were about what followed. Health scares in the rumor stream, silence from reps, friends reportedly pushing for interventions, the fear. Some changes aren't a faucet you twist off. Rapid weight loss in older adults can trigger sarcopenia, muscle wasting, weaken the immune system, and increase fall risk. For someone whose physical presence was part of his charm, his warmth, his gravitas, losing that mass may have felt like losing part of his identity, and no amount of camera angles can restore what's gone from within. Rebel Wilson. She packaged a year of health, sold the map, and then later coverage suggested an express lane might have been part of the route. Fans don't hate weight loss, they hate buying an illusion. Pros who know realistic timelines say you can usually tell when editing, strategic posing, and vanishing acts are doing the heavy lifting. The pain point isn't the drop, it's the disconnect between story and process. Rebel's journey was inspirational to many, but when before and after photos appeared too perfect, too symmetrical, too fast, skepticism grew. Was it discipline or pharmacology? Neither is wrong, but honesty matters. When you position yourself as a beacon of natural transformation, then rely on tools you don't disclose, you risk eroding trust. And in the wellness space, trust is the only real asset. Jonah Hill. Yo-yoing isn't scandal, it's human. What rattled watchers this time is intensity. Big swings followed by white-knuckle corrections. People close to him reportedly tried to pull the brake, worried about heart strain, hormonal disruption, and mental health. When your identity and income are bound to how strangers describe you at 8 a.m., Jonah Hill looks great versus Jonah Hill let himself go. Extreme solutions start to look reasonable, but bodies aren't spreadsheets. Shock them enough, and they keep score. Rapid loss can trigger gallstones, electrolyte imbalances, and cardiac stress. And the psychological toll, obsession, guilt, shame, can linger long after the scale stabilizes. Jonah's vulnerability in interviews about body image shows he knows this, yet the industry keeps demanding reinvention, and the cycle continues. Chelsea Handler. Chelsea did the un-Hollywood thing. She told the uncute truth. In interviews and candid social posts, she described nausea so severe it wrecked entire workdays, mood shifts that strained personal relationships, and gut issues that required real medical intervention. Not just a juice cleanse or a yoga retreat. The twist? Stopping the medication didn't snap her system back like a rubber band. Instead, lingering digestive weirdness and low energy hang around for weeks, even months. Her metabolism felt confused, her appetite unpredictable. Her takeaway wasn't never try it, but this isn't a toy. She emphasized that while the drug might help some people under medical care, using it as a quick fix for red carpet readiness is playing with fire. You think you're just losing weight, she said in a podcast episode, but you're actually losing your rhythm, your sleep, your hunger cues, your patience, and those things don't come back with a salad. Lizzo. A body positivity icon appearing dramatically smaller in a few candid shots lit the internet on fire. Fans felt whiplash. Was self-love just branding? Whether that's fair or not, that's the emotional reality when a public figure's body is part of a public message. Lizzo built a career on celebrating curves, rejecting diet culture, and singing about confidence at every size. So when paparazzi photos showed her looking significantly leaner without any public explanation, the dissonance was jarring. Industry pressure rises when numbers dip. The public voice says, love yourself, but the private current whispers, change faster. Living between those signals scrambles anyone's compass. Sources close to her suggested the shift wasn't intentional weight loss, but a side effect of stress, touring, and possibly medication use during a grueling schedule. Regardless of intent, the fallout was real. Fans questioned her authenticity. Critics accused her of hypocrisy, and the conversation shifted from her music to her midsection. That's the trap. Once your body becomes a symbol, every fluctuation is read as a statement. Mindy Kaling. On camera, she said, I feel healthier. Off camera, a pace that skeptics said moved too fast for just lifestyle, especially overlapping a prestige project known for tight visual standards. Her Instagram feed shifted subtly, more lengthening angles, strategic outfits that emphasize structure over softness, fewer candid mirror selfies. Colleagues recall fewer shrug and smile moments and more mirror checks, not out of vanity, but vigilance. In an industry where lighting, costuming, and framing are calibrated to perfection, even small changes can throw off an entire aesthetic. Fans didn't just mourn inches, they missed the offbeat writer who turned imperfection into a superpower. Mindy's early work celebrated awkwardness, stretch marks, and mismatched outfits. The new version felt polished, but also distant. Was it growth or pressure? The line blurs when your livelihood depends on how you look under 10,000 lumens. Katy Perry. Recent red carpets birthed a phrase in photo pits, the Perry problem. Lose mid-face volume fast, and every lens becomes a magnifying glass. Photographers whispered. Makeup teams quietly added 20 extra minutes to rebuild fullness for the camera using contouring, fillers, or lighting tricks. Crew chatter mentioned low battery stretches off stage, moments where she'd sit quietly, conserving energy, avoiding interaction. The exhausting math stars do just to look like themselves again under flashbulbs is rarely discussed. It's not just makeup. It's hydration protocols, IV drips, protein timing, sleep schedules, and mental stamina. When your face loses fat pads that once gave you youthful plumpness, you're not just thinner, you're aging and fast forward. And in pop music, where youth is currency, that's a crisis. James Corden. Public story. Walk more, eat less. The internet's side-eye arrived early. He's been candid for years about trying everything. Weight Watchers, personal trainers, calorie counting. So this drop looked different. The timing, the speed, the fatigue that seemed to leak into his final season of The Late Late Show. Teams adjusted schedules, added breaks, protected the room's energy. Not a confession, just 1,000 practical tweaks that add up to a very specific vibe. Someone managing more than just weight. Sources say he was under immense pressure to exit strong, to look sharp for farewell episodes and future projects. But the body doesn't care about timelines. When energy dips, charisma fades. Laughter becomes effortful. And for a host whose brand is joy, that's existential. Scott Disick. Blink, and he looked decades older in a single season of Cute K. The family brand is high-def beauty standards. The pressure cooker is always on. Makeup chairs worked overtime. Editors massaged light in post-production. Off camera, friends described a pivot from swagger to vanish. Less partying, more isolation, less engagement with his kids. Family concern isn't just about health. It's about the example set for children who notice everything and ask sharp questions. Why does daddy look sad? Why is he always tired? When wellness becomes performance, it stops serving the person and starts serving the image. And kids feel that shift, even if they can't name it. Jessica Simpson. Because she's been candid before about postpartum struggles, addiction, and body shame, this hit differently. That honesty built a bridge. Fans crossed it. So when the latest transformation came with captions about grind and discipline, people who know realistic postpartum timelines called foul. Former staffers allegedly remember mood valleys, strict food rules, and schedules built around unpredictable energy crashes. Followers mapped posting gaps and sudden photo pivots. The frustration isn't "don't change," it's "don't sell a fairy tale." Real recovery takes time. Real health includes rest. When you frame extreme measures as just hard work, you gaslight everyone struggling to heal at a human pace. Sharon Osbourne. She chose radical honesty. Too thin, too fast, too sick. Appetite shut down so hard she couldn't climb back easily. Nausea erased normal days. The chilling part? The loop. Shrinking gets rewarded by mirrors, comments, clothes, and can feel addictive even as your body begs you to stop. Quitting didn't fix it overnight. The road back looked nothing like the road down. That's not jargon. That's lived experience. Sharon's warning was stark. I thought I was being healthy. I was starving myself with a prescription. Her story underscores a dangerous truth. When medicine is used outside its intended context, it becomes a different beast entirely. Amy Schumer. Her lens is motherhood. She spoke about side effects that left her too ill to play with her son, and a genetic quirk that makes nausea more likely with certain medications. She stepped off, even if that cost her in the looks department. The only metric that matters? Presence. You can't Facetune tag with your kid. Amy's choice was quietly revolutionary, prioritizing function over form. In a world that equates thinness with worth, choosing to feel well, even if it means looking softer, is an act of defiance. Oprah Winfrey. For millions who trusted her long, honest road with weight, embracing a medication felt like the floor moving. Critics say when the most resourced woman in media normalizes a medical shortcut, it reshapes the conversation for people without daily monitoring, private chefs, or concierge care. Supporters counter that tools are tools and honesty is still honesty. Either way, the ripple effect is massive because the messenger is massive. Oprah's endorsement doesn't just influence behavior, it shifts cultural permission, and that's powerful. But power demands responsibility. The question isn't whether she should use the drug, it's whether the narrative around it includes the full cost. Kourtney Kardashian. At the peak of contradictions sits a wellness mogul whose brand is natural, ritual purity, showing up dramatically altered while selling a promise of clean living. The feed is immaculate. The answers are elliptical. Family body language looks complicated. Credibility is a currency you can't print twice. When the body and brand disagree, trust evaporates faster than fat. Kourtney's pivot from detox teas to unexplained rapid transformation raises eyebrows in an industry already skeptical of influencer wellness. If your entire business is built on transparency, silence becomes a statement.